is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. Today we're going to talk about Ryan Anderson getting traded from Phoenix, which he really wasn't doing much anyway, to the Miami Heat, a team that is in the middle of being in no man's land, where they actually is good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not great enough to really win a championship. And this trade is mostly a salary dump. They felt that Tyler Johnson would be a good piece that they can possibly trade. Um, and they actually overpaid him a lot because he never really even became close to being an all-star point guard. He was solid. He has had some good seasons with Miami. I liked him, and I feel like he was a little risky to do that, but they didn't really have no assets at that time, so they had to pay the guys that they had to decent contracts, and it hasn't really paid off the way they thought it would because they haven't really been able to attract any big name free agents over the last couple years after losing Dwayne Wade and Bosh after they made that playoff push. But Tyler Johnson is definitely an NBA player. He has proven to be pretty good. I definitely think he's going to take a pay cut after next year when his contract is up, because honestly and truthfully, as we all know, he's not worth $19 million that he will make as his last year on his deal will expire after next season. Wayne Ellington is a guy that is definitely going to have trade value for pretty much the rest of his career, being a 6'5" shooting guard that can shoot over 36% from three and can come off the bench and give you high volume 3-point shooting. He can give you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He actually averaging 6 threes a game this season in 21 minutes. And even last year, like I said, with the high volume, he shot 7 threes, almost 8 a game, and shot 39%. And the year before that with Miami, he shot 37% from three. So this has been a consistent thing throughout his whole career. Only difference is he's taking more threes now than he was earlier in his career because the NBA has, transferred and became and evolved more into a three-point shooting era that we are in now. And so he's going to be high commodity. I can definitely see the Suns getting rid of him quickly for at least a second-round pick. And if they can acquire a young player in a second-round pick, I can definitely see him moving quicker because he is going to be a guy that people is going to want to strengthen their rotations or at least give floor spacing for teams that don't have a guy like him on his three-point shooting caliber. And you got to put in perspective that he's not making that much cash either. So it ain't like he's being overpaid and sitting the bench. The dude only making $6 million. That's almost a vet minimum. So he's not making that much money. He's on a tradable contract because he actually plays and plays up to his talent because he's just a three-point shooter. And if you're going to pay $6 million for somebody that can give you high volume shooting but efficiently do it because you want to shoot 35 or higher, then obviously you're going to be a commodity. So I definitely see the Phoenix Suns possibly flipping him very quickly before obviously the trade deadline is up. So I like this trade for both teams. Miami, they really liked Wayne Ellington. They really felt like he was a good, important piece of their team. But they also did like Tyler Johnson, who never really could become anything special for them. But he still is young, being 6'4" at the age of 26, giving you double digits points in 25 minutes, giving you solid three-point shooting and solid playmaking. He's a tough guy. I like him. So I feel like, once his contract is over, I think that he'll still be able to stay in the league and be a solid rotation player and give you valuable minutes like he did in Miami. The only mistake that they made was giving him $19 million, which was ridiculous. But, Ryan Anderson at this case of his career has not been what we thought he would be 5 years ago. He got that massive contract, and he was where the NBA was going, a guy that can knock down threes at an efficient clip in high volume, but also give you solid rebounding and could possibly be the floor spacing that you would need depending on what lineup and team you went to. And I personally feel like Ryan Anderson won't be on Miami that long, because I don't see them really having a need for him, besides shredding his salary to save money for next season. The man is making $20 million at age 30, and he has fallen out of rotation because of people switching and picking on him when he's on the court. The guy cannot stay on the court to save his life because his defense has become that abysmal. Don't worry about the 20% from three, because he's only shooting two a game and getting 18 minutes, so you can't really gauge how great of a three-point shooter he is now, because he doesn't play that much. And when he does, he's not, his 3-point shots don't really make up for his defense, which is unfortunate, because I thought, when he got that extension from Houston too, you thought that he'd be one of the premier players, not an all-star, not a superstar, but one of the Joe Ingles type of role players, where if you don't pay attention to him, he'd kill you, and he'd just keep knocking down threes. And if he'd end up with the game 15, 18, 20 points, and you won't even know it, because he'd do it throughout the whole game, and he'll benefit playing with other guys. So Phoenix, um, obviously trading him to Miami, he might be a good fit if they do decide to keep him for a longer time. You have Hassan Whiteside, you have guys like Justice Winslow, and you need the floor to be spaced out for guys like Dwayne Wade too, who like to operate in the 15 and under, whether it's in a post or even just getting to the basket or coming off pick and roll. Ryan Anderson can give you some decent minutes and really help you out. Other than that, offensively, that's all he can really bring to the table. And that's pretty much sad that he went from being a guy that was a high commodity and a guy that people definitely paid $20 million as fast as they could, to a guy that can't even get off the bench at this point, and still getting his money. Like they say, keep getting them checks. You can't really hate on the guy. If you can go to an NBA team, stay in the NBA, still collect a $20 million check, you can't really hate on the guy that much. And I'm not going to really slander his name or really talk about him negatively, because he earned his contract. He played up to it at first, and he was actually a secret rep in Houston. A lot of people said, wow, this is a good fit, having James Harden surrounded by a lot of shooters. This is amazing. And then they started realizing that they were just going to continue to, if you're going to switch for James Harden, we're going to switch on Ryan Anderson and basically take him to the basket or shoot over him every time, because he's slow and not that mobile for the four position. As he has gotten older, his athleticism, and he never was the best athlete anyway, has dwindled. So at the end of the day, I think that the Suns need a solid point guard to take the ball out of Devin Booker's hand, and I think that Tyler Johnson can do that. But I don't think the Phoenix Suns should really be worried about that anyway, because they lost so many games. They lost today too, that they might as well just focus on scouting and worry about the NBA draft at this point, because they're not going to make the playoffs. They're so far behind that they should just focus on developing, and obviously Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton connection, and also finding who's going to be that wing player, whether it's going to be Josh Jackson, TJ Warren, or even Mikal Bridges. And they also got Kelly Oubre, who they're trying to figure out what he's going to do. So they got their own problems right now, and Ryan Anderson is the least of that right now. So let me know what you guys think about this trade. Do you think it really matters? Do you think it make an impact? Or do you think it just, two teams getting rid of players that they really don't need or want because of cap space or money, or just because of their predicament? Obviously, the Heat will not win it all this year, but they also have been good enough to make the playoffs the last 3 years, and that has really hurt them getting a top 10 pick, because they continue to win too many games just to make it to the playoffs, just to get put out in the first round, which is kind of weird that Pat Riley would want to be in that situation with Mickey Arison, unless they're just trying to stay relevant, which they have been able to do. So at the end of the day, I think the best part of this trade is Wayne Ellington. And if the Phoenix Suns can take him, like I said, and trade him for a young player that can potentially be a rotation player, just like Wayne Ellington is now, and get a second round pick, and I think that, you can get a rookie scale contract player and get a second round pick for a guy that you're not even going to need anyway. Plus you're rebuilding. That could be even better. You get rid of Ryan Anderson contract. You get 2 contracts of players that is solid and they're flippable. And make sure you got to put in perspective too, Tyler Johnson is making 19 million, and it will be an expiring deal next year, which means he could be tradable for a first or second round pick, or you can just get rid of him and get a young player in return by taking another bad contract. Because I don't really see this team winning in the next year, but maybe 2 to 3 years from now they will. So these two players can turn into more than just a trade. They can turn into picks or young players that can get them going in the right direction, and they can also try out young players since they're losing a lot. Trading them for younger players can really help them rebuild faster, or help them trade for another guy that can get them over the top. Possibly if you can add picks in, or even these young players. And Tyler Johnson can also be salary filler for a contract since he is making 19 million. So it's some versatility. I like this trade for both teams when it comes to business side. I think this trade don't really help either team when it comes to on court, because Phoenix is not going to do much, in Miami they got worse to me trading those two players. So I definitely want to see what happens 1 to 2 years from now when Tyler Johnson is an aspiring deal and Wayne Ellington will already be off the team, and what Phoenix will get in return for trading for these two guys. So until then, let me know who you think won the trade. Do you think this benefit both people? Did I sleep on something? Did something I forgot? Let me know. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description in the comment section below. Also, check out my spread shirt. That'll be in the same link in comment section below, description and comment section below. I make videos about trades, buyouts, free agency, summer league, NBA draft, even season preview, even tributes to the legend, even NBA breakdowns. So if you're new to the channel, it's the first video you'll see. Check my page and my playlists and enjoy the videos. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching. That's why I continue to go. And at the end of the day, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis signing out, and let me know what you guys think about this trade.